Hello! So it's been a while. Let's get a few things out of the way first. One, I know I look like Hikaru no Go. Two, I know that my hair needs to be toned. Three, I have bought toner and it is shipping on its way, but you know, pandemic things, can't go to the store and buy some. Also, I did go to the store to try to buy some and everybody else is trying to dye their hair too, so we're just gonna look like this. So hopefully by the time that I'm posting this, it'll be NCT 127's 4th debut anniversary. Woohoo! Congrats to them. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I've been a fan of them since 2017.
I'm too short. I'm actually almost out of photo cards. We still have plenty of stickers though. Yeah, Doyoung. And there's Dara.
If you've watched my previous videos, like my K-pop origin story video, you know that I am not very loyal. I've been a fan of like tons of different groups. That's just how it goes when you've been a fan of K-pop for like 11 years. Especially when I was younger, I would just watch videos all the time and not really, know anything about the group. So that was definitely how it was when NCT was first announced. I watched all those iconic videos like Basebot, and I, was impressed as everyone else was, but I was also like, that's a lot of people to learn about. When NCT U first debuted, Without You was like my I loved it so much. That was the beginning of my love for vocal line, at least vocal line as it was back then. I loved Taeil, Jaehyun, and Doyoung, and I still do, and it stems from that moment. And then Quinn as well, I loved the Chinese version. When Cherry Bomb came out, I actually didn't listen to it at all, but it was around the time that it came out that I started paying attention to them because someone on Twitter started this thread of like NCT lyrics, and the one that caught my eye was from Baby Don't Like It. The caption was like, oh my gosh, Taehyung is a freak, and I was like, that's so mean, why would you say that about someone? And then I watched the lyric video that was attached and I was like, oh my gosh, who let this happen? Why was this song with these lyrics published and like actually let out into the universe? And so I started watching like more videos to find out more about like who this person was who wrote this. Yeah, then I became obsessed with Cherry Bomb. I think you just listen to it once and you're like, I've talked about this in my 80s video where there's this psychological study in relation to crushes and infatuation where the honeymoon period is 3 months long, and then after that the honeymoon period is over, and that's how you know that your emotions are real. I'm paraphrasing a lot. There are a lot of groups that I get like intensely into for 3 months and then I just like forget about them until the next comeback and then support them and love them, but like it's never the same as that obsessive period. For NCT though, I think that what really drew me to them and kept me to them was very related to the time period that I was going through when I got into them. So in 2017, I was working my first job out of college. It was 4 or 5 people on staff. They were all white and I was the only person of color. And that was my first time interacting with people that said that they were liberal, but like were completely and totally unaware of notions of privilege. My boss would tell me numerous times that he felt like he didn't have to feel guilty for being white. he is liberal. He voted for Obama. His parents took him to civil rights protests when he was younger. And I would get so frustrated because I was like, when do you think the civil rights era was? Like 50-ish years ago, and what have you done since then to continue to fight against the injustices that people are facing today? He truly and honestly felt like he was a good person. From my perspective, I felt like a lot of his actions didn't show that. And I would get into so many arguments, and my parents were like so concerned with me and telling me like, you just need to like grin and bear it. If you just do the work, that's all you need to do. Don't get into arguments, you'll just get in trouble. I've been in a lot of different healthier work situations since then, but I think especially because it was only 5 people working there that I felt super isolated. I remember going through so much effort trying to teach them that like white privilege is a thing. So that experience in general was a huge burden for me and weighed down on me a lot, and because of it, I basically became obsessed with morality and what a good person was. Around that time, I got into NCT, and I really started to see the ways that they were good people, the good people that I was looking for. I just want to clarify in general, there are many K-pop groups out there filled with people who do great, beautiful, amazing things, and it just so happened that NCT and I were in the right place at the right time. I think when I think about NCT and what really stood out to me in relation to like their philanthropy and their mindset in general was Utah on Abnormal Summit.
일단 북유럽, 로마니아, 알바니아 그리고
그러면 외모만 보는 거예요? 사실 그런 고정관념이 있기 때문에 그 애기의 다양한 재능 끊긴다고 생각해요. 저는. 왜냐면 그 애기는 뭘 해야지 맞는지 그 하면 아는 거잖아요. 근데 그 하기 전부터 너는 남자니까 이거 해야 돼. 그렇게 하면 이제
맞아.
Some people recently were like, oh, but why do they have a script? It's scripted. As someone who has worked on a reality television show, every episode has to have some sort of structure. You have to know where it's going to be able to film it. Otherwise, like, first off, why would anyone approve it to be filmed if you don't know what the end result is going to be? And then you need the episode to have like a story arc, a storyline. So the show that I was on specifically was related to home renovations, and so if we didn't have a script and we didn't know what was going to happen, their house is going to look like so the script argument is bogus. What Yuta said was still like super important and like something that I hadn't heard from a K-pop idol before. Also, like, I know we talk up Ten and Johnny's pre-debut tweets, and like I know that they're bare minimum, but at the time it also felt like something that a K-pop idol had never really done before. And Taeyong was also an interesting one. I know this is a touchy subject. For those of you who don't know, when Taeyong first debuted, there was a lot of controversy about like people saying terrible things about him and like the things he had done pre-debut, and SM made him apologize even though none of those things were actually true. I saw the ways that a lot of that affected him during debut, and then I saw also the ways that he's grown since 2017 even, shows that he's constantly working and actively trying to become better and become a better person. Like, for example, the scholarship that he gives to students at that school, and like just him and his mindfulness and the way that he is. Like, if you watch as many NCT videos as I have in my lifetime, then you just know that he is like a kind and like compassionate and like empathetic being wholeheartedly, like truly a Cancer through and through. And then Do-young, everybody's seen that video of him.
본지 얼마 안 된 친구가 좋은데 어떡하죠? 그건 그 남녀 관계인가요?
모르겠어요. 남녀 관계일 수도 있고 남자일 수도 있고 여자일 수도 있고.
But also just the fact in general that he is a compassionate and empathetic person who's constantly working to improve himself. That's why he's my bias, is because like the things that he says and does and like works towards all align with my moral philosophies as well. They're all very genuine personalities. I think that that's something that, yeah, I was really looking for at the time. The thing is, with the anti-blackness and police brutality going on now, because of the reasons why I originally got into NCT, I was especially disappointed when I felt like they didn't really say anything. They didn't really do anything. SM's statement was released kind of late, really late, and then I felt like Johnny only posted after being pressured from others. I felt like his statement was actually really vague. It was like, I see you, I hear you, but to me it's like, who do you see, who do you hear? Do you see and hear the fans that are calling you out for not saying anything, or do you see and hear Black people who are in pain and who are dying? It's just really vague, and I felt like in general the K-pop statements that were released, none of them explicitly named anti-Blackness, and none of them explicitly expressed support for Black people. If any of them did, hit me up, let me know, but at the same time, like, it's bare minimum. It's bare minimum. So far there was only one statement that I saw that I was really happy with, and that was CL's statement. I really encourage everybody to take a moment to read that, because that's the way it should be. That's the way that us as fans, as well as K-pop idols and K-pop management agencies and companies, should be seeing things. NCT has so many Black fans. I definitely noticed this when I showed up to their concerts in Miami and LA, and part of that is because their music is produced by Black people. That type of music is what attracts Black fans, and you're going to disrespect your fans and your producers by not doing anything. Not like a statement. A statement means nothing. It clearly means nothing because there are so many companies that released statements and then people came out of the woodwork being like, well, actually, you do not support Black people. It's so easy to make a statement and then not have your actions uphold that statement. I feel very, very passionately that your words need to match your actions. Your actions need to match your words. It goes both ways. I know Ten and Johnny posted. I know they could have done plenty of more without us knowing, but in general, it should be something that is actively discussed and actively dismantled within K-pop. And what I'm saying applies to all K-pop groups, not just NCT. K-pop literally originated from Black music. Like So Taiji and the Boys, widely recognized as like the first like successful revolutionary K-pop group, literally went to America, saw hip-hop music, was like, dang, that looks cool, let's bring it over here. There's like so much happening in Korea, and So Taiji and the Boys really used music and hip-hop to be able to comment on that, you know, and to comment on things that they believed in, which is really amazing. At the same time, it becomes tenuous when they start imitating the style, wearing and start saying the N-word in their songs. Shinhwa, what the heck? Like, if you watch videos of Yoja Idol, G Idol, literally talking about the music that they're creating, and they literally just say like, this would look really cool, let's just take that.
나는 개인적으로 그 에에에에에를 우기 목소리로 진짜 아프리카 약간 추장이 막 에에에에에에 이렇게 하는
여기 쓸 수 있겠네 그 창법.
그 신스 있잖아. 뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱뚱 이거를 약간 아프리카의 좀 뭔가 그런 악기들로 바꾸는 거야. 뭔가 똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥똥 이러면은 이제 우리 스타일을 좀 살리는 거지. 우리가 기계음을 거의 안 쓰잖아. 그걸 좀 살리고 약간 에스닉 힙. 에스니킵 이런 식으로 가면 진짜 멋있어.
That's cultural appropriation straight up. The fact that K-pop idols are not speaking up, considering the fact that K-pop comes from black music and is influenced by black music and is consumed by black people, is just like, it's just like a slap in the face. I don't really know where to go moving forward from here. In general, I was really disappointed by NCT's response, and because of that, I've been taking a bit of a break. I still love them, obviously, and I've like spent so much money and invested so much in them. I think what I'm trying to say is that they've been around for 4 years, and I've seen them grow and develop and learn so much, and I just know that they're capable of growing and learning so much more. And so I hope that they and us, like all of us, can continue to push ourselves and challenge ourselves to be better people every single day and to fight against injustices and anti-blackness and police brutality. NCT has been a group that I've been so proud to be a fan of. I hope that we can push ourselves so that NCT can continue to be a group that I'm proud to be a fan of, and I can continue to push myself to be a fan that NCT is proud to have. Donate to the Ochre Project.